Well, one of the downsides of having a whole garage full of project cars that you enjoy working on is sometimes you have to remind yourself that there's actually time that you have to do maintenance on your regular cars, in this case my 2020 F-150. I'm about to do a lot of driving. I'm about to do a 600-mile one-way or round trip to Nashville, Tennessee next week to do work on the trailer. I'm about to do a 1,000-mile round trip to Dallas the week after, and I'm about to do a 350-mile round trip the weekend after that. So this truck has got 180,000 miles on it now. Something's been in the back of my head for a while is it's time to do brake pads. The brake rotors are in excellent shape, no ridges or anything, perfectly smooth, so I'm just going to change pads. It's time to get to work on that. Now, one of the things about these F-150s like this, from 2018 and up, is they have an electronic parking brake right here. So in other words, when you're ready to replace pads, you have to put them in maintenance mode so your parking brake doesn't lock up. So if I'm understanding the directions correctly, what you have to do is you have to turn the key into the on position, push the brake button forward while pressing the accelerator, and then shut off the engine, and then turn it back on. And once you go through those steps, which is very simple, turn the key to the on position, push the accelerator pedal down, push the brake release forward, in other words, the brake button forward to the release position, hold it, shut the key off, then turn the key back on while you're still depressing that and holding the pedal down, and it will put you in brake maintenance mode. So we've got that done, and it's time now to go ahead and break loose the lugs on the back, and we'll get the pads replaced. Let's get started. Okay, first things first is we got to break loose the lug nuts. Now you got to be careful with these fours because these lug nuts, they're a 21 millimeter, but these are a chrome sleeve covering the lug nut, and these have a tendency over time, if you get too wild with them with impact wrenches and stuff, they will swell, making them difficult to come off. I've also got a wheel lock on this one, so I'm going to break that one loose first using my 21 millimeter and my breaker bar. Okay, that one's loose. Now we're going to do the rest of them. Make sure they're well seated and break them loose. Now that they're all loose, I'm going to jack the car up. Of course, safety first, use jack stands, then I'm going to simply use my impact to go ahead and take these loose, and we'll get the wheel off and get started. On jack stands, time to get these lugs off. This, of course, is my wheel lock. I'm going to go ahead and spin this one off by hand. You know, if it didn't come with these things from the factory, I don't think I would have even bothered with them. But here we are. Looks like I forgot one. Yay! Gotta love that. I'm an idiot and didn't get one of the ones off of there. I had to lower the truck back down so I can get the brakes. The parking brake is already off, so I had to get it back down, so I've got enough on here so I can actually get that one off. Now I gotta jack the thing back up. Stupid! Try this again, shall we? Now that I've actually got them all off, since I'm using the differential, I've got the jack stands under the rear end, so both of the rear wheels are up simultaneously. I went ahead and took the other ones loose while I was at it. I love my Fords. I do not like their lug nuts. Okay. Now that we've got that off, you can see that these are in excellent shape. My pads are definitely thin. Let's get started and get these off. Okay, what you do, and I'm not sure if you have to have a wrench on this or not, I'll check that in just a second, but these are 13mm bolts. There's one here and here. This is the electric parking brake I was referring to. I'm going to see if I can get this done, but I think I might have to get a wrench on that. So let me grab a wrench and we'll keep going. 13mm. Okay, this nut right here is a 17mm. It's really skinny, and normally I couldn't get my wrenches in. Fortunately, I have a cheap, crappy set of metric wrenches that are very thin here, and that fits on perfectly. So it's just a matter of getting that done. Now we come down here and do the same. And I believe I'm going to have a shallow socket 13mm because that bolt is jammed up next to the shock. Let's hold it back. Get that on there. Okay. Those are loose. Pull those bolts out. Just like that, and the caliper should come off. And it does, with a little bit of persuasion. Just like that. And we set that aside, and here are our pads. And looking at the pads, this one here is spent. Now I'm of the opinion on these clips that if they're in good shape, I don't worry about changing them. So these, first thing I'm going to do is make sure that my pads are correct, which they are. Pull this exterior pad out here. And as you can see there, that one compared to the new one, quite a bit of difference. It's a good thing I did this before I took my trip. Slide this one back in place. And do the same for the back. This one's not quite as bad, but they're bad enough. Put this back on. Okay, those are in place, firm. Now what I have to do, your brakes adjust over time. I have to compress this caliper piston back into place. I've got a special tool to that. I have used C-clamps and a bunch of other stuff, but it's always good to have the right tool. So I've got this tool here, which is a caliper compression tool. All you have to do is find the correct piston size, which I believe that one will do. And you simply just come in here with that correct size piston, and you're essentially just going to unscrew this once you unscrew this feeds through here like so, slides down onto that, so you've got a good clamping surface. This fits into these holes here, like so, and you just basically just use this to compress that piston back out. As long as you don't drop your tool up under the truck. Rule of thumb, if you drop a tool while working on a truck, it rolls underneath to the exact center. It's just the way it is. Okay, place that in there like that, and then you simply tighten this up to compress that piston back into its place. Just like so. Get this up so you can see what I'm doing. Basically, this piece here goes on that, and you just use this to compress the piston back into the caliper, all the way in. That way it fits nice and neat on the mount. Okay, that's in. Loosen this up. Pull my tool out. Now this is ready to go back on. Just like that. Line up the bolts. And tighten up. Okay, those are good and tight. Now it's basically repeat the same steps for the other side, and then we'll get to the front. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll start videoing for the front. Okay, here we are on the front now. The front, and we're literally only about 10 or 15 minutes later. That's how long it took me to do the other side. But the front has one very small difference compared to the rear. And I will get to that in just a moment. It's nothing major at all. It's just an extra step that you have to do that's repeating one of the other steps. Let's go ahead and get this loose. Again, it's all 13 millimeters. And this one does not have the nut that you have to worry about on the fronts. So that's good. Okay, that's off. Remove the caliper the same way you did before. Set it to the top. These you remove the same way. Now the good news on here is these actually have some meat on them, unlike the rears. So I probably could have gotten away with just switching out the rears, but I'm going to go ahead and replace both of them now that we got it. And I'll keep these handy just in case I need some in the future in an emergency. Never throw away old parts. Yeah, you can see these still have quite a bit of wear left in them, but I am going to go ahead and change them out. And I'm going to keep the old ones in the box that the new ones came in. That way I've got them handy just in case I need them in the future. Because you never know when you end up with a grinding brake and you find out there's a problem, so it's easy to just get it taken care of. This, of course, again, the shims there are in really good shape, so I'm not going to worry about replacing them. Okay, that one's in place. Now we do the same for the back. Get these to line up. There it is right there. Kind of harder to do this one because you can't see what you're doing as easily. But you want to be sure you get it in the right place. Which that one looks good. Now this is the area where you've got an extra step. If you recall, on the other caliper we had to compress the caliper back in. This is actually a 2-pin caliper, so you have to do it twice. You have to do both pins. So that's what we're going to do right now as soon as I get my light out of the way. You have to do both the caliper pins. Don't forget to do that because you must do both of them. Put these up here. This up here where you can see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. The little pins to sit into place, and then you can start tightening. Just like that. That's seated in place real good. Now we tighten it in to compress that pin down, and repeat for the other pin. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the fact that my brakes weren't worn quite that bad on the front. We still got about maybe 40% brakes left on the front, and after 180,000 miles, that's pretty impressive wear. Again, slide that into place, just like that. Tighten it up where it's snug and in place, in position. And once you've got it in place, compress the pin, just like that. Compress that into place. And after you do this, you reassemble and then repeat for the other side. Okay, that's done. Take that out. And let's put this back into position. Get the bolt started. Just like that. That bolt started. Come in here, line this up, get this bolt started. And then tighten accordingly. Yeah. All right, that's another down. Put the wheel back on. And of course, I'll torque the lug nuts all down when the time comes. I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll continue. Okay, About 30 minutes later, we're back on all fours. All of them are done. All I've got to do is torque down the lug nuts to 150 foot-pounds and then move on to the next step. Do that 3 more times and we're good. And we're torqued to 150 foot-pounds on all 4 corners. Now, taking a look at the pads that came off of the car, you can look at these. You know, these aren't bad. They're not bad at all. They're at about 40%. The inside pad, of course, doesn't wear as much as the outside pad for some reason, but the brakes are good. These still had about 40% left. I could have probably left that alone and gotten many more thousands of miles out of it, considering the amount of wear compared to the number of miles that are on the truck. The back, however, is a different story. The inside pad, not that bad, but you can see this one. These are cooked. This is the back, the rear pads. Again, inside pad there. This is the outside one. Again, cooked. Only a matter of time before those needed to be done. Since I was in the mode of working on these anyway, it's a good thing I went ahead and did all 4. Now, I've got a couple of steps left. First one is this. Now, if you recall, the first thing that we did was put the e-brake in maintenance mode. Crank it up now. What you'll be able to see is it's still in maintenance mode right there. So what you do is you turn the key on and you reverse the procedure. Whereas you push the accelerator and pushed in the button, now you pull out the button. So push in the accelerator, pull out the button. You get that, shut it off. Turn it back on. And I believe we're good. And the brakes are on. Okay, so we're out of maintenance mode for the rear brake. What's the last step? Well, it's this. Essentially what we have to do now is we have to do a break-in procedure to make sure that the new pads are seated in. So what you have to do, according to the directions, is you have to make 5 to 10 moderate to aggressive stops from 40 to 60 miles an hour down to 10. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, here we are. We got the main road. I want to make sure everybody gets behind me while I do this. And we're going to make 5 to 10, 60 to 10 mile an hour moderate to aggressive stops. That should seat the brakes in real good. We'll be good to go for another 100 miles an hour. Down to 10, that's 1. I can tell you this, the analog brakes work. Okay, we're up to about 58 miles an hour. Here we go again. Let's wait for these cars to pass. And here we go for number 2. Miles an hour. We're getting started again. That was 2. 4. Okay, 55 miles an hour. I want to get to the top of this hill. There's nobody behind us. No one coming. And we're good there. That's 5. Now I'm going to turn around and go back the other direction. Okay, nobody behind us. Going back the other direction now, going back to the house. The car's coming. Okay, we're up to 50 miles an hour. I'm going to do it a little bit slower this time, just to vary it a little bit. We're at 50 miles an hour. 1, 2, 3. And that's actually 6 times. It did say 5 to 10. So I may do one more, or maybe 2 more, maybe 2 more, including getting ready to turn into my yard. 50 miles an hour, no one behind us. And now I'll do one more when we get ready to turn at the road in which I live. There's a car coming behind us, so I need to be sure and be careful and just do a moderate stop this time. Otherwise, we're okay because we've done 7, which is right in the middle of 5 to 10, so I think we'll be okay. But I may want to do one more. There's a car behind me, he's not there. Looks like I managed to put some distance between me and him. Slow down just a little bit. Okay, we're down to 55 miles an hour, getting ready to turn. And that's 8. I think we'll be good to go with that. Let's get it home. And I can smell the new brake smell from the hard stops, but they are seated in nicely now. Rotors look great, pads look great, everything looks great. Everything's going to work. And as far as car maintenance things goes, in my opinion anyway, this is one of the simpler things you can do. It's simply a matter of untorquing the lug nuts, putting it on jack stands, pulling the wheel off, 2 bolts on each caliper, pull them off, replace the pads, avoid the wasp, avoid the wasp, but anyway, replace the pads, compress the pistons, put the caliper back on, torque everything back up, seat it, and you're good to go. Took me an hour, a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes to do this. Local brake shop wanted $650 to do this. The grand total, not including my labor of course, $137. Good money saving tip. I am not a mechanic. A little disclaimer, do not take what I do as gold. Be sure and do your research. Whatever your car requires, your situation may vary. Torque specs can be different, brake pads can be different. But the way you do it on a 2020 F150 is just like that. At least that's how a hack mechanic does it. And I'm not even a mechanic. Be sure and hit like and subscribe if you like the content. Once again, remember, do your research, make sure you know what you're doing. Do not use me as a guide for this, okay? This is just an example of how easy this can be if you have the tools and you take your time. Come back and see me next time.